It's a new day, both literally and figuratively.
Water in the well.
Change is happening all around us, whether we agree with it or not. The one constant in my life seems to be change. While the direction the change seems to be heading in worries me, I can only control what I can control.
How do you know if the road start looking for you along the line?
The beauty of platforms like the current one you're using to watch this video is that it has given us a way to reach people on all corners of the world that in our normal life never would have happened. The beauty of these platforms is it allows us to get to know people from all walks of life. We absolutely love getting to know many of you that literally may be on the other side of the world. We love your stories. We love your perspective. We love the fact that you're willing to take your time to see what's going on in our life at this particular moment. I have made a genuine effort to spend the least amount of time on these social media platforms that I have to, because I'm not sure how much of this exposure is good for me. On top of that, I've got projects for days that I should be doing. I love the fact that we can be friends with people from all different walks of life. I love the fact that we all have a unique individual story to our individual lives. Some of your stories make my struggle look like a walk in the park. It seems that things have never been more divided, although the relationships with the people closest to me have not changed, regardless of political leanings. Again, I have many friends from many different perspectives, and some of these perspectives I don't identify with, but we're still friends. I still love and care about these people. The truth is, Cedar and I choose to avoid some of these sensitive topics for good reason.
Get back, Ruby.
It's too easy to throw words out there that you or I may not mean in the heat of battle, and for that reason we try to avoid some of these topics. In my opinion, the most important things I have in my life are the relationships with those I love. And the last thing that I want to do is create an offense that would damage these relationships. I'm sick and tired of this division that I hear about, although I don't see it. I think it's a great day to change, a great day to reevaluate just in fact what's important, and a great day to take control over the things that you can control. These two parts are the hubs that I need to convert the Dana 60 Kingpin front axle from a dually axle back to a single wheel axle. These two hubs cost me $750. They're very difficult to find for some reason right now, and this was a part we had to have. So I placed the order, and I will set these aside for the moment that I decide to dive back into the crew cab Chevy. But if I had been able to find another Chevy Kingpin Dana 60 front axle, it probably would have been less expensive to go that route. But the axle under that Chevy truck has very low miles. My absolute goal for the first 3 days of this week was to get all of the siding used up that I have here at the ranch. I've got 60 more pieces on order, but I do not know for sure when they're going to show up. I try to use every piece of scrap wood that we have around here for something, whether it's firewood or whether it's for batten strips. I try to keep it handy until the entire project is done. I've thought about making flower boxes for all of the windows on the house and the shop, and I wanted to throw something together and just see how I liked it, again using the scrap lumber that I had left over. This wood is all Doug fir, which is probably my favorite softwood. We have a few big giant Doug firs growing on our property, and I would guess these Doug firs are at least 80 to 100 years old, if not older. But the sad part is there are very few new Doug firs coming up that I can find.
Hey, Ruby. Hi, Ruby. Hi, lovely.
We've had so little snow so far this year that I worry for the first time that we may have a real threat for some fire dangers later in the season if we don't get some moisture at some point along the way. I just played around with some scrap wood that I had left over. Wanted to see, I don't know, how it looked. I like the idea of putting flower boxes under every window, although it'll probably never have flowers in it. But anyway, I have, I think, 14 16-foot boards left, and it is just bone-chilling cold today. It's actually in the 20s, which isn't typically that bad, but the wind is just taking it out of me. So I'm going to cut those down to 8-footers and put them across the back. I talked with Cedar this morning, and she would rather have the back close to finished than a third of the front done, because it's probably going to be another month before we get enough siding to finish the front. But anyway, so I'm going to just hurry up and slap those up across the back, and I may just lean into some of the projects inside, because today's one of those days. Although I need to get this axle out of the driveway for Rhett's truck, so maybe I'll go inside the shop and get a fire going and get that axle finished up. He did most of the work on Friday and Saturday, but there was one bolt he was struggling with, which I can take care of pretty easily. So actually, that's probably what I'll do the rest of the day. It seems like the month of February always ends up being a heavy snow month, so we will see. But as long as we've owned our land, we've never had so little snow at this particular point in winter. I must say again that I could not be more happy with the board and batten look that we've accomplished here on the shop. Now I need to find some old porcelain, gas and oil signs that I can hang all over the front of the shop to give it that feel that I'm trying for. Unfortunately, those signs have gotten awful expensive. Letting half the load of 1x12s slip off the back of the 6x6 is a pretty good representation of my life. I very easily could have taken a few minutes and tied a rope around them and ensured that they not slip off the back of the 6x6. But on the other hand, I could just give the 6x6 enough throttle where momentum should carry me up the hill and the boards would not fall off. But as usual, I was wrong. Now I get to move those heavy boards around and stack them again. I wonder when I'm going to reach that point in my life where I'm willing to slow down enough to throw a rope around some boards to maybe make things a little bit safer. I'm not quite there yet, but I think there's still time. Once the snow melts and the ground dries out, we will do the same rain gutters on the back of the shop that I did on the house. I love those rain gutters. I love the look. They're very unique and they're very heavy duty as well. On the front of the shop, I think I'm going to build some sort of a lean-to over the area where I park the trailer and make that area a little bit safer from potential snow and ice sliding off the roof. I'll add that to the list of one more project that needs to get done this summer. Because of the wind, the weather today went from bone-chilling cold, then the sun came out, then at some point my sweatshirt came off because I was sweating, then at some point the sweatshirt came back on because I was freezing again as the sun went down. But the Idaho weather this time of year is not for the faint of heart. I think I've officially reached that point where I'm ready to start doing projects inside the house and maybe leave some of these outside projects for a warmer day. My theory on staying warm on days like today is just to keep moving. But when my feet get so cold that I can't feel them, it's probably time to do something inside. I sat and talked with Cedar, and she got a glimmer of hope in her eyes, thinking that maybe, just maybe, we'll get the house finished. The next big project in front of us is getting the flooring done downstairs. By getting that done, that basically sets in motion getting the rest of the little projects finished upstairs. I'm done for the day. I'm wore out. I'm gonna finish that window, put the batten strips above and below it, and then I'm basically out of wood. I'm gonna keep going over there to the sawmill, picking up whatever I can get from the guy. But I'm kind of at his mercy until I can get more wood. I think I'm ready to start doing stuff on the inside. It's cold enough, it's hard enough to work outside. I think I'm gonna sit down with Cedar and see if she wants to get after it downstairs. Maybe we'll put the flooring in or something. But anyhow, I'm happy to be done with the siding, at least as far as I've gotten anyway. Can you guys see Cedar's new design on the sweatshirt? We'll show you a close-up of that. Are these going to be available soon?
Yes. I just had some
Cedar
orders,
designed
so
this herself. It's my favorite. All right, let's talk about.
Well, I had some help.
You had some help, but that was your idea.
But
The siding is done. I'm out of wood. Okay, I'm 2 to 3 weeks out on more wood, hopefully, if the mill does what they he thought he could do.
It had like what, 72 boards, and now we need another 60. Is that what it is?
I ordered 60. We'll see. I think I need probably 100 more to be completely finished. But again, on that far side of the shop is where we are now talking about building a whole new setup for the goats and the chickens. And if it is in fact going to be a lean-to type setting off the shop, I probably will hold off on that siding until that's built. But anyway,
We want the inside of the house done first.
Cedar wants the inside of the house done first. I can live. Okay, I know how bad. The first thing that you see when you walk into our house or when you come up to our house is the inside flooring. We were going to stain and seal the concrete and make that work because it's, number one, it's super durable, obviously, easy to clean up. We've just finished up potty training Ruby, and concrete's very easy to clean up. But even if I stained it and sealed it, I think it's a little more industrial than we're trying to go. I know what Cedar wants. She wants to have a nice house. She wants it to look nice. The wood flooring we did upstairs,
I love it. It's just not super durable. It gets scratched really easy, which
it's a softwood, it's a pine. We knew that was going to happen.
But down here where there's most of the traffic, and like we have a lot of snow and mud and water and kids and dogs, and so down here we just need something a little more durable.
Something that's easy to be cleaned up and durable and waterproof. And
I was say we've looked and looked and looked. Like every time we go into town, we look at something. We look online at different colors, and it's such a huge investment, and it's such a big project that it's like I want it to be perfect and exactly what I want. So we've been putting it off for a long time.
yeah, and that's part of it. Either we don't agree completely, but we found something yesterday that we both like, and we'll show you guys a picture of it.
But also living in a house when the floor's not done, it makes it really hard. I mean, we have to do a lot of things. We have to take off the baseboards. We have
Yes,
to
and now
move
we're
all the
pulling all the
furniture.
baseboards off. I'm gonna have to move stuff from one side to the other. It goes down fast. That's the nice part. There's a couple different types of the luxury vinyl planking.
LVP for
LVP.
short.
There are glue down.
Vinyl. I don't know how I feel about that, but
Yeah, that's some marketing firm's idea, and the stuff's just durable. Is what it's more than anything. We're not going to glue it down. I don't want to go through the headache of trying to glue that stuff down. And so we don't want the cheap stuff that's just not going to hold up.
and we considered that just to get something done
in the beginning.
But
yeah.
the more we thought about it, we're like, let's not spend the money or the time to do something cheap that we're gonna have to rip out. So
We almost did that commercial linoleum that looks like wood, as I've seen it installed. It's not horrible, but we're going to spend put a little effort into this. This is not going to be a cheap project, but it should be. Should just bring everything together. That's the hope. As much as the concrete is easy to deal with, it is. Even if I stained and sealed the concrete, it still is probably a little bit more. I know that she would rather have flooring, and again, it's the first impression. It just looks unfinished, and so I'm going to have to sand. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to sand these countertops, and I'm going to get this epoxy off of these countertops. I don't know what I did. Either I put it on too thick or something, and the epoxy, there's places where I can rub my thumb across it and it just peels off. And so before we do flooring, if I'm going to make a mess sanding these countertops, we're going to do that first. Then I got to pull all the baseboards off. Then we got to move everything from one side to the other. Then I have to go into the pantry, which means the pantry has to be.
everything has to come out.
And then the downstairs bedroom, Cheyenne's room,
And the bathroom.
It's a chore, and I'm going to try and get all this done in the next 2 weeks. And
Which we measured for the blinds, and I really, really don't want the blinds done until everything in the house is done, because I know I could dust the house every day and it's still super dusty. So I know with construction, the blinds are going to get destroyed. So we're going to wait.
Just getting the flooring done downstairs. Really all that's left downstairs is touching up the bathroom. I need to paint the bathroom a little bit.
The trim.
A little bit of trim in there. Flooring and the handrail and paint the baseboards, and we're good to go. And I could work on the shop, I could do drywall, I could start doing that stuff, but it's a little cold out there right now for drywall.
But just think, if all the stuff is done inside, you can go build whatever you want outside, and you
I'm
don't have
sure
to
I'll
be
find
pestered
something.
by me anymore.
I'm sure I'll find something to change on the house. But again, this room is kind of the first impression room downstairs, and we want to make it look as good as we can. So that's over the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, this front room is completely finished.
Okay.
This Sunday's video, if all goes well, either we're going to put up a video about our new battery bank. That's the goal, but I'm working on that video anyway. Or I'm going to show you what happens when you sand concrete countertops. We haven't decided yet. One of those two things. I've been working on the solar battery bank video. We could not be more happy with the new system.
I can use my blow dryer without it. What's that thing
No
called?
issues. It was some sort of an inverter that we had to keep on the countertop. We have been the literal guinea pig for what inverters and batteries are best, and we now have that problem solved. And it's a beautiful thing.
Happy.
Yeah, we just went through the 2 hardest months of the year, and our generator ran a third of the time that it ran this time a year ago.
This has been a bizarre January though too.
Yeah,
we
that's
haven't
part
had
of
any
it.
storms like we did last year.
That's part of it. So anyway,
But still works great.
either this Sunday or Wednesday, that video will come up, and we're going to kick it off and try and get. But by the way, one of the first things I have to do to get the flooring in down here is I have to jack our stove up and get it sitting on something so I can put brick underneath it. That alone is going to be a bit of a chore.
Oh, the fire.
Yeah. So anyway,
Good luck.
see you guys on Sunday.